Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about Valorant patch notes 5.06. So this update actually includes single buff, so basically some single changes and some pro changes as well along the map, just to make it a bit easier to move through different areas and for attackers and defenders. So let's have a look at the first one, which is the weapon updates. So the primary fire error has been adjusted from 1.6 error after 7 bullets to 1.3 error after 6 bullets. Our goal for the Stinger is to feel controllable and appropriately lethal assured ranges. But currently, even in close quarters, it can feel out of control. Lowering the top spread should make it feel more reliable as the appropriate range once you've overcome the learning curve of the recoil. And finally, for the full stinger, the old fire first shot error has been adjusted from 0.5 to 0.35. For an option that's about being more accurate, it felt like the first shot had more variance than we'd like, especially at the range you want to use the burst fire mode. This will basically help this will massively help the stinger, in my opinion. This might even bring this into a meta as well. Like I can definitely see people using the stinger a lot more in competitive play. And obviously now that we're the end of the VCT 2023 season, but the game changer scene is still going on. Expect some stinger gameplay from the Game Changers teams in Berlin and also for the qualifiers as well. So, but obviously we shall see what changes there is for the stinger. Now this is a map update for Pearl. So obviously Pearl has been out for a couple weeks, and I think just like most new maps, they will be getting a change. So obviously Icebox got some changes, Fracture got some changes, and then for the first time, Pearl will be getting some changes. And there's actually quite a few of them. So first off with B main, so they have lowered the waist-high wall on the left side of B main so that it can no longer completely hide anyone, which is actually a good one, which I quite like. So this is what before looks like. Obviously, it's just it was just a wall that you could crouch behind and no one can see you. And this is what it looks like now. So smaller, obviously it has shrunk, which is a good sign. So I'm pretty happy with that change. Mid shops, clearing this area in mid shops is harder than we intended. By extending the platform, we're still keeping some of the holding power for attackers, but making it easier to push this area. So originally it had like a little gap and you could jump to the stack here. Now it's there's no gap. You can still jump onto the stack here by just jumping on the boxes and just go around the corner with it. So that skill hasn't been eliminated, which is a good sign. Mid shops to mid plaza. This is another spot in mid shops that's been proven to be painful to clear when trying to move through mid. So we've removed one of the corners and they have added a bush. The door for the shop is also gone, sadly. So I guess there was no way for anyone to enter the shop. But there is now a little bush here, which basically which eliminates this corner. Mid currently favors attackers, so we've pushed in a wall on mid top to remove a 50-50 check. This should make it slightly easier to defenders to challenge mid. So this is what it looks like. It's being pushed back pretty far, and it's what it looks like now. It's basically just it's caved in now. There is no there's no hiding at mid top. A art. We noticed the difficulty both sides have had moving effectively through A art. We're simplifying the space so there are fewer areas to check. So I think there's three screenshots. We have a stack here. Behind it, obviously, there's this place where defenders can hide in. There's also this little, I don't know what this is, like, I guess a box that people can jump onto, which they can also hide in. And this one as well. And yeah, this one now, after, there is no crate. and there's also no box as well, which they can actually hide under. So you can jump on this. I don't know what the angle is going to look like there. It might look pretty. It might be even better than the stack actually. But yeah. So I mean, unless you could actually, I mean, you can still hide there in this corner, but it's not really a good idea. But that's a new thing there. There's also literally no stack there. And what have they added for this one? They just added like a, I don't know. They have basically eliminated this corner, so that corner is basically useless unless you can maybe get onto the little pieces, little wood planks, but I don't know if you can though, which is, but I mean it might be good if you actually can jump on that. Next up, B Link. This box provides a good piece of cover for attackers pushing B Link, but it's been tough to re-clear for defenders. We're keeping a little attacker side power by making it easier for defenders to manage. The stack of boxes cover closer to the site will shift from the left side to the right to simplify the numbers of angles approaching players need to consider, as well as close a difficult sightline in B Hall. So this is what before looks like. There's obviously like the box here. Just you can hide behind that as well. And this is the stack of boxes. Now is just a flat, just a bunch of boxes, just like small boxes that you could jump onto. And this is just so they have effectively just moved the crate onto the other side, just to make it a bit. I mean, just gives the power also for the attackers. So yeah. A main. Thank God they've added this. Removing a cutout on the wall of A main to simplify the space, which could also make this area slightly easier for defenders to aggro into. Although really, you should hold sight. Little dig-ins to some of the Valorant players. So we have this spot here, and it is completely gone. First of all, I don't know why this was even a thing in the first place. I think they should have just had as like how the wall was for every other wall, and not just have a random cutout. I don't know why it's like this, but thank God they got rid of it. Aiming to a site, this spot was unnecessarily tough to smoke effectively. By tightening the choke by a margin, we hope to make smoking easier and give a small buff to defenders, i.e. new utility spot. The cubby on the right will also shrink slightly to keep it from being too deep. So yeah, it was very, very, very wide. And I have obviously played smoke on this map before, and it is a pain in the ass just to smoke, to smoke this, because I mean, it's really difficult because you can still kind of, I mean, it doesn't really do much. But they have tightness, which is a good sign, and so it is obviously means it is a bit difficult for the attackers then. So that's actually the last changes for Pearl. Some over to social updates. Have now added a new indicator or new feature called Disruptive Gameplay Based Behavior Indicator. We've introduced a feature that will show at the end of the game screen which players have been detected for engaging in disruptive gameplay-based behavior. This has been added to the following game modes: Unrated, Comp, Spike Rush, and Replication, with more game modes to follow in the near future. So only those 4 game modes have that feature. And there's a couple bug fixes as well for agents. Fix issue with KOs 0 point, sometimes incorrectly displaying enemies that were hit on KO's UI. And for social, fix a bug where clutch mutes would persist after the match ended. Fix a bug that prevented you from being able to respond to a whisper by clicking on the right ID of the player who sent the whisper in chat. Fix a bug that caused the social panel to close when right-clicking into the friend note text field. Fix a bug where pending invites will not disappear after all friends have left the party. And finally, fix a bug where the incorrect system message was sent when accepting a friend request via the match tab in-game. So that is all of the changes for Valorant Patch Notes 5.06. Now, let's have a look at the patch notes that was released by the Korean Valorant.
반가워. 최고의 사냥꾼을 다시 부른 걸 보니 아주 중요한 소식이 있는 모양이군. 그럼 패치노트 5.06 시작한다. 첫 번째는 맵 업데이트. 펄이 꽤 많이 바뀌었다지? 정찰이 필요하겠군. 먼저 비메인 엄폐물은 앞으로 요원이 숨어있지 못하도록 높이가 낮아졌어. 중앙 상단부도 좀 더 단순해졌군. 중앙 상점은 영역을 확보하기 까다로웠던 복잡한 구조물들이 정리됐고, 상점 입구에는 경사진 벽이 생겼어. 좋은데? A 그림도 마찬가지야. 앞으로 확인해야 하는 영역이 많이 줄어들 테니 교전이 쉽고 더욱 명확해지겠지? B 연결부는 숨어있는 적에게 유리한 구조물을 정리했어. A 메인 쪽에 숨어있는 녀석들도 꽤 줄어들겠군. 완벽해. A 사이트 계단은 폭이 더 좁아질 테니 연막으로 시야를 완벽하게 차단할 수 있을 거야. 총기도 짧게 알려줄 게 있어. 스팅어의 탄 퍼짐과 반동이 조금 조정될 거야. 사격장에 가서 직접 확인해 보라고. 마지막으로 시스템 업데이트. 이제 게임이 끝나고 난 뒤 결과창에서 악의적이거나 부정 행위를 한 플레이어에 대한 기록을 볼 수 있어. 모두 매너 있는 발로란트 유저가 되도록 부탁할게. 그리고 발조각 이벤트가 다시 돌아왔어. 이번에도 놓치지 말고 반드시 푸짐한 상품 사냥하자고. 구독과 좋아요 꼭 부탁하지. 안녕.
So that's really about it for today's video about Valorant Patch Notes 5.06. Like, comment, subscribe, it will really help me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.